I was wandering around Swanwick Marina the other day and I bumped into this gentleman, Stephen Crabb, and he accosted me and said, I love Aquaholic, but why haven't you got a Fairline Phantom 50 on the channel, which he owns? So I said, no problem, let's film yours. And he very kindly has agreed not only to let us film it, but to have a chat with us about his boating history, because it's always great to meet an owner and find out what they do with their boat. So hi, Stephen.
Nick, how are you?
Very well, lovely to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you yesterday as well, it's good fun.
Excellent, excellent. And this is your fine ship. So what year is this?
This is a 2005.
Right.
When we were stranded in Malaysia during the pandemic, tragically.
Oh, right.
And realising we weren't going to get the chance to go on holiday again,
yep.
We thought, well, maybe now is the time to be going back into boating. We were into boating years and years ago, but
right.
when the kids were younger.
Yeah.
And so we went out looking for boats. We bought a Sea Line 425.
Yeah.
Beautiful boat.
Yep.
Did everything for us. And also it was a chance to get back into boating without getting too big.
Yeah.
One thing we found, because we loved it so much, we were always down at the marine, we just found the living area a little bit too small.
Right.
So we then looked at something slightly bigger, and we found this beautiful boat up in Hull.
Uh-huh. Wow.
We drove up to see her, and we fell in love. I mean, it's got all the living space you need, especially when you're using it as we do, which is the weekends a lot.
Right.
And it affords that living space without being on top of each other. Also, if we got three youngsters, sort of 30 and downwards, they can come down. There's enough room in all the different cabins to enjoy themselves and play around and have fun.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Let's have a look inside then, if we may.
Yeah.
I'll follow you in, and then you can you can show us what you've got.
Yeah.
So this, I always think, because this era of Fairline is very much the sort of the high quality woods and the high gloss, and it does look fantastic, doesn't it?
It does, and it goes back to what I said. You've got plenty of living area. What I particularly like is the bar area. You know, you can stand here, have a bottle, glass, chat. And if you're cooking, you're in the room with the people, as opposed to some of them where the galleys are lower or higher, not in the same area. Yeah. At least you can entertain and be with the people that you're with.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a really great seating area up here. Obviously, I mean, you would get what, half a dozen people easily around there, wouldn't you?
You've got the television. Obviously, comes up on. I say obviously, but it comes up on the hydraulics that goes up. Ah,
right. Yeah.
Tucks it away when you don't need it.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice feature.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've also, I mean, it came so well equipped. It's with the Bose sound system. Mm-hmm. As I say, you've got the convenience of all the glasses. You've got a very handy drinks cabinet down there.
Yep.
And a very straight thing that's wonderful here is.
Oh, look at that! Wow.
Huge amount of storage. So you've got cupboards there. Real deep, long cupboards, so if you're going away for any length of time, you've got extra storage in there. You've got the two side units as well. Both of those have also got air conditioning units incorporated with them, because the boat has got 5 AC systems. So you've got AC in all the rooms, hot and cold, as well as a secondary heating system as well. So it's got everything you need.
Yeah, that's a really useful area though, because you can get all your gear tucked away in there. Because there's never enough space for things on boats, is there?
No, you always need a bit more space. But we're having this looked at about maybe making the lid a bit easier to use.
Yeah.
For a bit of fun, we thought maybe a wine cellar.
Oh yeah, that would be brilliant. Yeah, I like your thinking. And so you've got the helm up here.
Yeah, you've got your helm.
And do you drive the boat much from here? Because some people say they never use it, other people use it all the time.
Got to be honest, we haven't used it from down here because we haven't needed to. But the beauty of this position and this particular boat is that you can drive from here. We found on the previous boats is if you're down here you struggle to see out of the front, especially if you're on the plane. Yeah. Whereas this goes on the plane and it remains at a nice angle, so you can comfortably helm the boat from this position. Right. Yeah. A lot of boats go very nose up when they're planing, don't they? And this one just sits beautifully. Yeah. When it goes on the plane, as opposed to going along like that, it goes on the plane almost immediately and stays level. Nice. It's a very comfortable, very seaworthy boat. Yeah, fantastic. So then downstairs, the lower area, you've got twin there. Okay. Oh, that's a nice size, isn't it? Good size, and you've got storage under the beds, and also there's floor storage in that one as well, which is good. Right, and there's obviously wardrobes and more storage. Yeah.
over there.
With
Yep.
independent TVs and AC system. Then you've got the double on that side.
Oh, that's very good, because a lot of boats of this size, you get like a twin beds or a double in one and then bunks on the other.
Bunks on the other, yeah.
But this, in a 50-foot boat, that's really good, isn't it? That's excellent. And again, storage, obviously, in these wardrobes and so on.
Underfloor storage as well. And both cabins, obviously, the AC and all TVs. And you've got the...
Yeah. Ah, the day heads?
Day heads.
Okay, and that's clearly en suite then.
En suite for the twin.
Yeah.
So the doubles.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's really nice. Nicely finished again as well, isn't it?
Beautifully. And everything is so beautifully made. It's all solid. And I mean, the boats are 2005, but you'd never know it because everything is so well engineered. It fits beautifully.
Yeah.
And then you've got the forward master cabin.
Uh-huh.
Storage all around the top. This one's got its own sound system built into it as well.
Yep.
Plenty of storage, stay lockers, backlit, and then you've got the ensuite on that as well.
Okay, so it's your own private heads if you're in this cabin, obviously. Lovely. I like the shower screens on it. That works well.
And one of the things as well is that the showers are big. I mean, I'm not the smallest person in the world, but you know, I can fit into any of these showers, and because some of them you're in there, and you know, if you fit in it so tight, you start filling up with water.
Yeah,
but there's plenty of room in the showers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And also, it's better than those. Some of them have the like the curtains that come round, and of course they always cling to you, don't they?
That's right. Yeah, you like things film chicken.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you've got drawers under the bed there.
Drawers
I can
under
see.
the bed, yeah. And then you've got under that's your store. That's your tank controls underneath there for the waste and water tanks.
Brilliant, fantastic. Okay, so I wandered back up here, and this is a Flybridge boat, obviously.
Yeah.
So we've got another deck. Then we've got the cockpit out here, and it looks like there's a crew cabin on this one.
Yeah, this has got the crew cabin. So let me just show you in there.
And do you ever use it?
We haven't.
No, nobody ever does with these.
We were going to use it last week, but I think weather changed and other things changed, so we didn't get round to it. But, you have got a WC down there. It's got a toilet down there.
Yeah.
Basin. And again, incredibly, it's got its own heating system down there as well. So
wow.
It is a bit claustrophobic probably, but it has got a window. And
yeah.
I think if somebody's going to stay in there, you probably leave the hatch up at night.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, this sort of boat, you wouldn't actually run with a crew, would you?
No. It's just an overflow room, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So that if our youngest was down, he could use it as a spare room for him.
Absolutely, and I think they're great for sort of teenagers and people like that.
Absolutely, and then we want to lock them in there.
Yeah, well, there is that, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
You've got your huge lazarette, which has got, excuse the mess, all the boating bits.
Yes, of course.
A big generator on it.
Yeah, that's a really good size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you've got the that one there for the engine access. Although you can get access, you can get between the two engines, but this has got the 715 thing on this one, so you can get down through there. But if the engineers are ever working on it, they tend to go down through the saloon.
Yeah, just get the carpet up. So that's probably more for like daily checks, I guess.
Daily checks. You can certainly do everything you need to do in there, other than any general maintenance. It'd be much easier to go down through the saloon floor. Yeah.
So if you're servicing it once a year, get the floor up. The rest of the time, that's good enough. Should we have a quick look, just while we're accessing all the areas?
Yeah. Oh, they're still in there.
Yeah. Ah, fantastic. So these are 715 horsepower each?
Yeah.
Wow, they're a fair old size.
They are. I can't think. It does. It cruises at about 22, 24.
Right.
And that's around about 1700 revs.
Okay, that's nice and unstressed, isn't it?
No stress at all. In fact, on tickover, you struggle to keep it below the river speed limit.
Really?
Yeah, you've got to keep dropping it in and out of gear because it'll happily do 7 on tickover.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And top speed?
We've had it up to 33.
Really?
Clean.
That's shifting.
Yeah, I that was. But then, to be fair, I think she may have done more because we did have full tanks of fuel on that occasion.
Okay.
So, but we had a flat water, may have been a tide with us. But,
yeah.
You know, I think she may have got another 1 or 2 out of it, possibly.
Yeah, that's tramping on though, isn't it? For a big boat
But
with a
you know what it
Flybridge.
does, Nick, unlike boats' previous experience, is that it does it with ease. It didn't seem to labour or struggle. As soon as you push those levers forward, it goes.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing 22, 24 and you put the levers forward again, I know it sounds wrong, but the back almost sort of tends to lift to take the boat. There's so much torque in those engines. It really wants to do. He wants to go.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And when we brought it back from Hull, I mean, she nothing bothered her. They got a bit of heavy sea just off the Lowestoft, and it just went straight through it. And we even had waves coming over the bow, but it didn't bother it.
No.
We went back to about 16, but it took it nice.
And how long did that take to get from Hull down to Southampton?
We did it over 3 days. We did. We started off. We did it in sort of 3 lots of 4-hour lumps. Yeah. So that we weren't. Because it's a new boat to us, we wanted to understand how she was going to perform. I came down with my 2 sons, James and Ashley. We first of all went into Lowestoft for the night, had a night there. Interesting experience, Lowestoft. Lovely place, different. Yeah. And that was the first of the lockdown, so that was a lockdown had been eased. Right. So there was a Witherspoon's pub, you couldn't get anywhere near it. They were like 10 deep at the window. But we did a night there, then we went down to Ramsgate, Royal Port of Ramsgate. Lovely people down there. We had a great night, and bearing in mind again, it was the second day of lockdown, release of lockdown. Yeah. Everybody did well. The marina was superb. Refueled her there. We came across. We were hoping to get to Brighton, but they wouldn't. Brighton Port Premier then in those days had a policy they wouldn't allow anybody in. You wouldn't visitors are trying to keep the berth holders safe. Yeah. So we then decided to make it all the way back to Cowes rather than come here back to our home port. So we did another stop in Cowes. We did a long haul, about 6 hours. That was 5 hours. Straight round Dover, and went across the just clipped the edge of the firing range there. They radioed up and said, "Are you sure you know where you're going?" in a very polite way. Yes. Be ashamed to come all that way and get blown out of the water by the Navy.
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's ruining the whole day, that could.
But no, we came across, no problems at all. Had a bit of an engine issue. She started to make some. I thought it was a mouse. This sort of squeaking noise. That started off as a squeak, and then it got louder. I was down here making a sandwich while the boys were upstairs, and it got louder and louder. And I thought, what the hell's that? Got a mouse with a rat on it? So I was down here looking around, and then the alarm came on. Couldn't understand. We were in some fairly choppy seas, and my eldest, James, bless him, he knows more about boats than most people. He went down there and checked everything. We checked the oils, the lot. Nothing was wrong with it. So we just thought it was an alarm, and she didn't go into limp mode. Funny thing is, as soon as you took it over 1600 revs, the alarm went. So we thought, well, we've got water, we've got everything is right, the oil levels are right, oil pressures are right, the temperatures are right. So we thought we just carried on going and went on to Cowes. Right. Because we bought the boat from Burton Waters, who, to be fair, they've dealt with all of the issues very well. Yeah. Under the circumstances, maybe it's been slow, but to be fair, it's happened. Yes. And they were down very quickly, and they went through it, and they found a filter issue which they resolved, and so they've been good. Yeah. We've taken her out now, and she's perfect. I mean, she doesn't miss a beat. But then we got to Cowes, did a night over in Cowes, and then brought her back to home port here at Swanwick. Brilliant. Brilliant. And let's have a look on the Flybridge, shall we? Yeah. And that's the only bit we haven't seen, I think. So this is where you normally drive from? Yeah, at the moment all the time, but you've got a great, when we first brought it in, we had a 42 before, which was, as I mentioned, which was a nice sized boat. But I always took a stern 2, we were over there. Stern 2, you've got good control of the boat and bring it in. It had bow and stern thrusters on that one. Coming in bow first, because we've got the tender only allows you to get off on the left, on the ports, port side. So we can only get off that side. So we have to come in bow first. Well, when you're standing here looking at the bow down there, you're wondering at what point you're going to hit the pontoon. It does overhang quite a bit, or it appears to from here, doesn't it? It's daunting the first time. Yes, yeah. I guess you've got to sort of get your bearings as to where that line there is and where it measures up on the hull. Now when you're standing here, you know really on that quarter there where the post is there, you know you're well off. So yeah. And she's got a bow thruster but no stern thruster. But the engines have got enough oomph in them just to click them in out of gear. It will bring the back round. It'll handle quite nicely. I'd like to have a go at taking a stern 2, but until we get what we're going to get sorted out with the dinghy, the tender. The moment we're going to have to keep bringing her in out first.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But no, good helm, good driving position. And plenty of day area. You know, you've got your hob and fridge and hot and cold.
Nice.
And an ice box there. Acres of space, and that table also has got some lower legs for that, so that table will lower to make that into a whole sun pad there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's got, or it's had a bimini at some stage, judging by the rails.
We're in the process of organising a new bimini for it, and just trying to get the colours organised, because there's such a shortage of with this the situation. I mean, people, it's too easy to blame Brexit. There's nothing to do with Brexit. It's just a shortage of material because of the worldwide demand for material. So some of the colours in some of the awning material just aren't available, and the colours we particularly wanted aren't, so we've got to wait months for it. But yeah, it's a waiting game. We're happy to wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Should we want to back down and then have a chat about what you do and where you've been with it and that sort of stuff? I guess probably not had it that long, I don't think, have you?
No, we got it back here April.
Oh right, okay. It's not long at all then.
Not long at all. Put that back in there.
Sure.
Yeah, we went down actually to your neck of the woods, down to Torquay to look at a boat.
Oh right.
Take a seat there.
Thank you.
Sorry about the cushions. Yeah, we went down to Torquay to look at another Phantom 50, another beautiful boat, but couldn't quite get the deal put together.
Right.
And then we contacted Adam at Burton Waters, who we know Adam very well.
Yeah.
And he had this one, and as I say, we shot up there quickly in a day from Salisbury to Hull, and had a look at it, and everything was right about it. It was a boat that needed a bit of work, but it was a boat that was ready to go. And what was right about it, it was the equipment. It had a whole new electronic suite, and I know that that's an area that can get so expensive.
Yeah.
And because it had done that, they had put some new carpets in. I was keen. The engines were all absolutely fine. There's 700 hours on them, and engines of this size. I got forklifts at work that've got 3,500 hours on them. So
yes, exactly. Barely run in, really.
Absolutely. And when I don't think they'll rev more than just over 2,000 revs. So it's hardly like you're going to strain them.
No, exactly.
And the spec, with all of the heating, the boat, I think at some point was in the med, because obviously it's got AC throughout.
Yes. And
when she came back, I think one of the owners must have put in the oil heating, because she's got oil heating throughout all of the cabins, and also at the back here with a separate heating system. So in the winter, when you've got the awnings up, you've got the cockpit's got its own heating as well. So
nice.
Everything was right about it.
Yeah.
The passenger rail, and so from our point of view, all it needed to do was to make it homely. Which all we've done, and my lovely wife has made carpets and cushions and goodness, and daughter, don't forget Sophie. They've been out there choosing lights and lamps and everything else that's needed to make a boat homely, and we use it very much as a home. And we only live in Salisbury, but we always look forward to coming down. We don't always take her out. Yeah. But it is nice to be here, relaxing, a lovely marina. Hopefully the sun's shining more.
Absolutely. And I think that's the thing, really, and I always say this, people probably get bored of me saying it, but the thing I find with boats the most is they are such an escape. Even if you don't, as you say, go out on the boat, you just come down to the boat and you're here, and you turn the world off for the time that you're here, I think.
Absolutely. You absolutely couldn't agree more, Nick. One of the things as well, you can think about buying a house, I don't know, in the south or wherever. The trouble is that house is sat there, you can't move it.
Yeah.
So if you have noisy neighbours or whatever, you're somewhat lumbered with that.
Exactly. Well, you just change your mind and think, well, why don't we try taking it down to Devon or into Poole or...
Absolutely. Here you've got, when you own a boat, the beauty is, we're very lucky to have one, but the beauty is that you can take her where you like, and we haven't. We've done the Isle of Wight several times. Going to Osborne Bay is lovely. Just anchor up there, or go round the other side, Alum Chime, and again anchor up, depending which way the wind's blowing. You've got everything you need. You fire up the generator. You've got your fridges. You've got your cookers, and you can, But it's the beauty is you can, as you rightly said, you get away from it.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just come down at weekends and just don't go out.
No.
The clubhouse is very good up there. They've always got a regular supply of wine and stuff.
The important things.
All the very important things.
Yeah, absolutely. So have you got any big plans? Where are you planning to take it?
Well, okay, so we are planning to go to Jersey in September. We're going to go for 2 or 3 weeks out there.
Fabulous.
Which we're really looking forward to. We do love Jersey anyway. Often do those short trips out of Southampton down there, but we're going to take the boat down and have, as I say, probably 3 weeks down there. Do fancy going along the south coast, and we met some lovely people here, actually from Fairline. A chap said, why don't you come down to Torquay? They've got offices down there, I think. And he said, they'll find us a berth. That's your neck of the woods.
It is indeed, yeah. That's where I am in Torquay. Yeah.
So we'll come. We're definitely going to do that. Dartmouth, Torquay,
Yeah.
Weymouth. We want to do the south coast. We'll probably done a couple of weeks down there.
Brilliant. That'd be really good. And it's a perfect boat for that kind of thing, because it's big enough that you don't have to worry about the sea conditions too much, as long as it's sensible.
Yeah, absolutely, you wouldn't take a risk.
No, exactly. But it's small enough that you can get into places once you're there.
Yeah.
You get a really big boat, and suddenly it's, oh, sorry, sir, we can't get you in.
That would be terrible enough. But you're absolutely right. And it's big enough so that when you are somewhere, you're not all cramped in. You've got all the creature comforts of home, and the space that the boat affords, which is great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And may I ask you, what is it that you do for a living?
Okay, we manufacture hot tubs.
Oh, really?
And swim spas. Yeah, we've been doing that since '97.
Wow.
Started a company called Catalina Spas.
Uh-huh.
We manufacture, distribute hot tubs and swim spas around the UK and large parts of Europe.
Right. Wow.
Interesting. We manufacture all of the spas and hot tubs that go on the back of Sunseek, all the big stuff.
Fantastic.
So we have a sort of a link there, but and we also have another business that my family run, my sons and daughters. We have a business that does air handling, so air purification systems, which in this current climate is fairly busy.
Yeah.
Purifying airs in the offices and the like. But the spa business is the main business. We started it in '97.
Right.
Probably one of the oldest companies in the UK that's been doing it consistently.
Yeah. So you get to reap the rewards of all that hard work, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm lucky. I've got, as I say, three great kids who run the business when we're not there.
Yeah.
They and a great team with them, of course.
Yeah.
They've got a fantastic support team as well. So without all of them, it wouldn't work. But yeah, we've sold products we can't sell to Russia anymore. We used to sell anything that was a bit unusual. The big TV spas. We used to sell one with a 74-inch TV.
Wow.
That popped up at the end, and they all went to Russia.
Yeah.
Russians bought all of those. But we just finished a project sending some spas, built 2 spas to go on the back of a boat that goes around New York Harbour.
Wow.
So you sit in a spa, or groups of you sit in these 2 hot tubs, huge, they're big 11-person hot tubs, and this boat then does a tour of New York Harbour. So that's one of the furthest, as close to Newcastle almost.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. And my very last question, and it's probably a bit premature to ask you this question because you've only just bought this boat.
Yeah.
But what's next? Or what would you get after this? Or what would be the dream boat? Or is this it?
Interesting, because with the boat show being here at Swanwick at the moment, we've had a good chance to look round. I don't think I'd want to go too much bigger with Jenny and I on. My son's down here, and then the daughters. It's great because we've got more hands.
Yeah.
But Jenny and I think we can comfortably cope with a 50.
Yeah.
I think we might consider 56 or 58 max, but I don't think I'll know much bigger than that. It's some beautiful boats here.
Yeah.
Some Fairlines, some lovely Fairlines, and some Princesses that were there, and the Sunseekers obviously. But yeah, I think maybe 56 might be the next step.
Yeah.
But maybe with a larger Flybridge, but. It's well, for a while. We love this boat, and I can see us keeping her for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing with boats, I always say, the trouble with them is that when you get them wet, they shrink. Every boat you get, you think, this is it, this is the biggest boat, and anything bigger than this. And after 2 years, you're going, well, if we just had an extra cabin, or we just had a bit more space there. Yeah.
When we started buying, our first boat was when the youngsters, must be 25, 30 years ago. And it was a 32 foot, and then a 28 foot. Sorry, and then we've got bigger. And as you rightly said, they seem small. But when we bought the 42, So that was only just over a year ago. And we thought it's a big boat, you know, compared to there'd been a 37 before that, and the 42 was a 45, great boat, thin platform. And we thought, wow, you know, this is everything we need.
Yeah.
But in no time at all, we realised it actually wasn't, because if the family were down at the weekends, the living space was quite packed, especially if it was bad weather, you know, because you were in there. And when we saw this, you know, I said, God, it's huge. But then when you go on to these other ones, 58 foot, it's amazing they get space. But we did see a 425 that was here the other day, and we looked at it, and I thought, not being disrespectful to 45s, but it looked small.
Yeah.
It felt, you know, it looked small, and it's, as you rightly said, it's staggering. You get on a boat, suddenly you think the house or the boat is small.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always used to say when I was selling boats, I used to say, you know, always, if you're not sure, always go for sort of the biggest size you feel comfortable with, because it'll never feel too big. It'll only ever feel too small.
Yeah. And these modern ones now, when you know, the bigger ones where you've got joystick controls, it obviously makes life a lot easier for just the two of you. But I think, you know, I think it was something. I think, you know, 54, 56, 58 would probably be the next step in maybe a few years, hopefully, if things go well. But this is we're happy with this one. She's a lovely boat, and we're looking forward to using her and getting some enjoyment out of it.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Stephen.
Absolute pleasure.
It's been great, and it's always lovely to meet an owner and get a sort of bit of behind the scenes and the feel for how people use and enjoy them. So that's brilliant.
It's been a pleasure, and welcome aboard. It's and you do a great job with your programs. I know my two youngest, so young, James and Ashley, he's 31. They love the programs. So
it's fantastic. That's always lovely to hear.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that one. Let us know what you think of Stephen's boat, and we will look forward to catching you on another one of these very soon. Take care. Bye bye.